Welcome to the Alumni Association's inaugural annual meeting. I'm Claire Land, and I've worked at St. Edward's for 8 years with our alumni and donors. Tonight, you join more than 200 other alumni. We are thrilled to see such enthusiastic engagement. Tonight, you'll hear directly from the Alumni Association Board of Directors. After our speakers present, there will be a Q&A session where we will answer some of the pre-submitted questions and take questions live. To get us started off right and to honor our Catholic Holy Cross heritage, we will begin with an invocation. To lead us in prayer, I'd like to welcome Brother Larry Atkinson from the class of 1970. Brother Larry is the 2020 recipient of the Alumni Service Award. He is a member of the Alumni Association Board, and though he is now retired as a university staff member, he remains one of the most beloved figures on the hilltop. Brother Larry.
Creator and loving God, we come together before you today as a community of hope and of mission. These are difficult times indeed, so we place ourselves at your mercy and ask for your continued blessing on St. Edward's and upon our many alumni and alumnae. Bless and protect them, and with them, our students, faculty, and staff. Let us all become beacons of hope and of safety. Help us to continue to grow in our reverence for and pride in the diversity of this community. We strive to be faithful to the ideal and flooding in the Southeast, and people in our own communities who suffer from food insecurity. Give us the wisdom and courage to help end racism and all forms of discrimination in our land, to be a healer of political and religious divisions, and to spare us from the COVID virus. As our Holy Cross constitutions remind us, may we have the competence to see and the courage to act. In spite of this, we remain hopeful, joyful, and even enthusiastic that we can be part of this learning community as alums of St. Edward's University. Bless this meeting and may it bring about an understanding that we are all your children and bear our crosses and our joys together. May the mission of Holy Cross provide us with that hope. Ave Crux Spes Unica, hail the cross, our only hope. Amen.
Thank you, Brother Larry. Your alumni leadership was hard at work at the end of 2019, making structural and functional changes to the Alumni Association to better serve our alumni community and St. Edward's University. Led by our past president, Erica Zamora, the Alumni Association Board put in months of research and hard work to update the Alumni Association bylaws and programs. I would like to thank Erica for her leadership and dedication and through this restructuring process. And I would like to welcome our new Alumni Association President, Amy Gayhart-Weck. Amy will share with you how the alumni leaders are woven into the decision-making bodies at the university. She'll also share the structural changes we've made to the Alumni Association, including all the ways each of you can benefit from and support the Alumni Association and St. Edward's. Amy?
Thank you, Claire, and thank you everyone for joining us this evening. I'm sure you are tired of seeing my face as you've seen it on videos and in photos and in emails, but I promise you this is only just the beginning. I'm delighted to be your new Alumni Association Board President. And yes, I am reading from a script, but that's only because I have about 1 million cool things to share with you this evening. So for tonight, there are 3 things that I want you to be able to take away from this meeting. The first, you can go to the next slide. There we go, is to understand the new Alumni Association Board structure and how it can help you easily give your time, talent, and treasure to make a difference. These 3 T's are the time, talent, and treasure. You're going to hear me say quite a bit from here going forward, as they're incredibly important to who we are. Second is to answer some of your questions from me directly, as Claire had mentioned, from pre-submitted questions, and then we'll take questions live as well. And then third is to give you the tools that you need to get involved with your time, talent, and treasure. So let's get started with sharing more about the Alumni Association board structure. So you'll understand who we serve. I want everyone to get a snapshot of our alumni family. We are more than 34,000 Hilltoppers strong. Our lifelong Hilltoppers include those with undergraduate and graduate degrees, and those who learned the Holy Cross values as high schoolers when we operated at St. Edward's High School. And it also includes dedicated Hilltoppers who are non-degreed alumni and have strong ties to our mission. More than 68% of us have graduated in the last 20 years. While many of us are starting out in our careers or navigating the early years of our professional journeys, we also have a large group of alumni who are further along in their personal and professional journeys. Texas, as you can imagine, is our biggest base of alumni, but some Hilltoppers have spread out around the country, which I find this graph pretty interesting so you can see exactly where everyone is. The chart shows the regions where we have more than 200 alumni, and 200 is a very important number because it's generally the number we look for when we're deciding if a regional network or an official alumni chapter would be successful. To serve this alumni family, your Alumni Association Board of Directors is made up of 27 Hilltoppers and 3 professional staff from the university. We seek to strengthen connections across all members of St. Edward's family, provide opportunities for lifelong learning. I've taken advantage of quite a few of those. To share resources of, here we go again, time, talent, and treasure with each other and other St. Edward's students, and to create experiences that unite us. And now that we are in the middle of COVID and at home, we have been able to really unite with each other and actually really get together virtually, which has been fantastic. In addition to our alumni board representation, alumni voices are present in leadership bodies throughout St. Edward's, the university, and the campus. St. Edward's, it is a nonprofit institution, as you know, and we're dedicated first and foremost to extending our Holy Cross education and to talented students. This mission is upheld by our leadership bodies, including the Board of Trustees, the Administrative Leadership, Faculty Senate, which represents all faculty members, Staff Council, which represents all staff members, and then the school advisory boards. And as I just said, the alumni voices are present in each and every one of these. When we restructured Alumni Association, our goal was to create networking opportunities that directly relate to the university's strategic plan of 2022. You can see listed the committee members who are guiding our work. I'm extremely grateful for my colleagues on this board. Could not have done it without any of you. All of us have helped the university with the gifts of time, talent, and treasure. And we were recruited to join the board, not just because of the ways we advance the mission, but also because of how diverse we are in our interests at the university, our career paths, and our professional backgrounds. So for me, I was a headstrong student only when I was at the school, and I actually did not really participate in anything. So I am making up for all of it now, and I'm participating in everything I can. In a moment, some of our committee leaders will join us to present unique opportunities for you. But before then, let me introduce to you our board. Your executive committee is myself, and I look nothing like that photo, but it's okay. Hunter Skrasik, who is also on this webinar, Christine Zenteno, and then Erica Zamora, who is our most recent past president. Committee chairs include Aaron Kennard, who provides leadership guidance on alumni engagement, Juan Carlos Rodriguez, who guides us on alumni giving, Andrew Harper, who leads a Connected Network Committee, and that is focused on career and professional development for alumni. Jessica Salinas will guide us on homecoming and family weekend, which we're closer by the day. And then finally, Carrie Campbell is involved with volunteer recruitment. Our local chapters are led by Ruby Leon in Austin, which is of course our largest chapter, Lauren Hill in Houston, our second largest chapter, Alon Cabrera in Dallas, the Fort Worth area, and Carlos Martinez in El Paso. Then we also have Reina Flores, who leads our affinity chapter for the camp alumni. And if you're interested, our San Antonio chapter is currently in need of a chapter president. So we are accepting applications. If you're interested, please email me at sualumni@stedwards.edu. Then we also have our members at large. We have Vanessa Alanis, Kayla Knox Sigmund, Laura Amelia, and Jane Marie Agnew. We have non-voting representatives as well, which include 2 faculty members, Dr. John Knorr and Dr. Catherine Lopez, and our Holy Cross representative, our favorite brother Larry. We also have 2 student representatives, the SGA president, Athena Castanon, and Hilltoppers for Hilltoppers student philanthropy leader, AJ Valverde. Our staff at the university is led by Gregory Perrin, who's also on this webinar, Claire Land, who you just met, and then Gabby Ferro Chavez, who are all working hard to represent the alumni interests across the university. So now that I have provided an overview of our alumni representation, I would like to welcome some of our committee members to outline some specific opportunities available to you. Hunter Skrasik represents the Alumni Engagement Committee tonight. Andrew Harper is actually unable to come tonight, so Claire Land's going to fill in for him, represents Connected Network Committee for Career and Professional Development, and Juan Carlos Rodriguez, who leads our Alumni Giving, will speak as well. So first, let's talk to Hunter about how you can engage in alumni opportunities. Hunter?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? So I'm actually on vacation, so I'm in a weird hot-spotted situation, so hopefully I'm coming through all right, and if there's any weird issues networking, blame AT&T as I'm hotspotting. But my name is Hunter Skrasik. As Amy's already mentioned, I'm the vice president of the Alumni Association. Aaron Kennard of class of 2017 is actually the chair of the Alumni Engagement Committee, but he had a conflict and unfortunately couldn't be here this evening. So I'm filling in to help him out. So in my role as vice president, I coordinate the efforts of all of our alumni chapters and work with the Alumni Engagement Committee. So I am stepping in tonight to fill you in all the changes to our programs. And I can't follow slides because my iPad apparently just decided to X me out of that. So I'm going to assume we're on the next slide. Thank you, Sarah. We can move on to slide 18. So the focus of the Alumni Engagement Committee is to be the governing arm of the chapter program. So chapters are the best way for alumni to connect with each other. New this year, we are creating our first official chartering process for our regional chapters. Like the Austin chapter, we're also creating, like the Austin chapter, we're also creating chartering processes for the community chapters. So affinity chapters serve alumni who had similar student experiences. The camp alumni chapters are only affinity chapters so far, but we know there are probably many other of you who would love to connect with a network of alumni based on shared interests or backgrounds. We'll move on to the next slide. Regional chapter can help you start your regional. Starting a chapter is one of the questions we'll address through pre-submitted questions tonight. If you aren't able to stay until our Q&A portion, just know that to get an answer about starting a chapter, you can email sualumni@stedwards.edu. I hope to hear from you. We would love to be able to work with you in establishing a chapter for your region or for your affinity interest. I'll be staying on this webinar in case there are any questions I can address later. But in the meantime, I'm going to turn this over to Claire Land. Claire will be sharing information about our connected network.
Good evening again. I'm Claire, and I'll be filling in tonight for Andrew to provide you with information about the Connected Network Committee. This committee serves 2 main purposes. First, to connect alumni with career resources and opportunities, and second, to connect students with alumni who can offer them career development or opportunities like internships. Our committee works directly with Jennifer Ansier with the Office of Career and Professional Development. We're partnering to expand our career network and help alumni access career services. The most important thing for you to know is that every career and professional development service that was available to you as a student is also available to you as an alum. You can turn to us for help with job searches, graduate program searches, interview coaching, resume review, and more. And all of those services are available virtually, making them accessible to you no matter where you live. We also offer a new virtual series, Topper Career Talks. The next webinar is September 23rd, and it will focus on how to get through the hiring process after an interview. On this slide, you will find a link to the website where you can access career services for life. So the other half of our committee's work is focused on establishing career pathways for students using our alumni connections. We work to identify paid internships, job shadowing opportunities, and ways to help our students gain footholds in their chosen careers. We're working on creating a directory of alumni-owned businesses as well. Our goal is to build the career network for students and alumni in Austin, throughout Texas, and across the country. If you have experiences to share with students, or if you own a business to be included in our alumni business directory, please email us at sualumni@stedwards.edu. My portion of the presentation is over, but I will stay on this call in case there are any other questions I can answer later. Next up is Juan Carlos Rodriguez, the chair of our Alumni Giving Committee. Juan Carlos?
Hi, good evening. My name is Juan Carlos Rodriguez, and I chair the Alumni Giving Committee. Giving is important to me because St. Edward's is a nonprofit organization that advances an important cause: education for everyone, regardless of their background. And it's an education that prepares students to make a difference in the world by focusing on social justice. Our gifts help to minimize the university's reliance on tuition. The more we give, the more we help families and students who want to access our education, but who need help to do so. Now, I should say at this point, during difficult times like these, we understand that not everyone will be able to make a gift of treasure. But for those who are able to, I want to let you know that our focus this year is on scholarships. We hope to increase the number of students who receive donor-funded scholarship support from alumni like us. Last year, 658 students received donor-funded scholarships. Those 658 students are just a small subset of what the university gave in grants and awards. So as alumni, we want to uplift more students by investing in their success with gifts of all amounts. You can support students by serving as an ambassador during our annual social media fundraising campaign, Love Blue Give Gold, recruiting other ambassadors for Love Blue Give Gold, and sharing giving messages for things like Giving Tuesday and other national events. Also, you can make your own alumni gift. Gifts of any amount from alumni are used as an indication of alumni satisfaction by national rating agencies. If you were satisfied with your education, you can show it with a gift of any amount. Now, before I transition back to Amy, I want to take a moment to thank everyone on this call who has given to the university. As Amy said earlier, St. Ed's is a nonprofit. Every dollar we receive from tuition or from gifts is used right away to retain faculty and staff, to develop student programming, award student scholarships, and much more. Your gifts of treasure make a difference, and we can't thank you enough. Amy?
Thanks, Juan Carlos. That was a lot of great information, and he's right. Any gift of any amount makes a huge difference. There's so many of our students that do receive scholarships when they do go to school here. I was one of them. I was a beneficiary of quite a few of them, grants and scholarships. So it is very important that we do give, because our students really need it. Thank you, Hunter and Claire, as well. I hope all of that information was helpful for many of you on this call. So my first goal was to share information about the board and the new committee structure. So that was all that you could learn about the opportunities available to you. Now that we've done that, my second goal for this meeting was to answer some questions and some direct questions. And my team is here that is going to help answer that as well. We had 23 alumni who pre-submitted questions with their registration. So thank you very much for those. And we were able to group some of those together. So we'll answer a few of those, and then we'll take some live questions through the Q&A function as well. Claire's going to rejoin us to moderate the Q&A session. So Claire, I'm going to turn it over to you, and we can get started. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Amy, and thanks to our board members for sharing more about the programs that our alumni volunteers are developing. 2020 has been an unprecedented year in many ways, but the work our alumni board is doing can help you. They're working hard to help you better connect with each other and the university. As promised, we will shift now to our question and answer session. Open dialogue with our alumni community is very important to the alumni board and to the alumni relations staff. We want to hear from you. I will be your moderator and read the questions aloud, and we'll start with the pre-submitted questions and then address the questions we'll receive through Zoom's Q&A function. We will get to as many questions as possible during the event, but we know we won't get to all of them. Zoom keeps a record of all the questions. If we do not get to your question this evening, we will follow up with you via email from either the alumni staff or from one of our alumni board members. That's true. Also, for all the pre-submitted questions we cannot answer tonight, we will get to those as well. So let's get started. Our first question was submitted a few times, and it is twofold. How do I start a chapter, or how can I connect with a standing chapter? Hunter, will you take this one?
Yeah, so to make sure I'm following correctly, so it's how to join an existing chapter or start a new chapter, right, Claire? Shaking her head, yes. Yeah, so if you are, let's see, I will admit I don't have all the cities that we have chapters actively in memorized, but if you are in Texas and you are in Austin, San Antonio, obviously you saw needs a chapter president. So if you are in San Antonio and want to join a chapter, well, you can actually be the one who start that chapter and be the president. Houston, DFW, El Paso. Like we have a few chapters here in Austin. So if you're in those sorry, not in Austin, in Texas. Biased, I live in Austin. So if you want to join any of the chapters that currently exist in Texas, I don't have everyone's information memorized, but we can definitely share again how to get in contact with the various chapter presidents that are here in Texas. If you're not in the Texas region, but you are wanting to start a chapter outside of Texas and whatever city, state that you're in, then the best person to reach out to start that conversation is honestly Claire Land, but you can also reach out to myself or Amy or Aaron Kennard, and either of us can get you connected with the right people to start setting up that chapter. We always welcome more chapters across the country. So if there's we've mentioned a few, but if there's a opportunity for a new chapter elsewhere, please let us know. We'd love to establish it and help grow that community.
Yeah, Hunter, you're totally right. We
have anything to add, Claire?
Chapters. One of the big things is that we need to have enough alumni that are interested in the chapter to keep it going. Our hope is to have our chartering process completed by our November board meeting, and that will give us a more formalized process for regional and for affinity chapters. But once it is formalized, we can begin working in earnest with alumni who want to create chapter groups. To connect with already established chapters, you can always reach out to the alumni office, but we've also got Facebook groups for all of the established chapters. So you can go on Facebook and search for like DFW Alumni Group and reach out to them, and they'll be happy to reach out to you. I know we've got some chapter events coming up this fall. Thank you, Hunter. I appreciate your info.
And
question
one thing I will add, if you don't mind, Claire.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna just add, like, if you're in an area that doesn't have a chapter, and maybe you know some St. Ed's folks, or maybe you don't, but like either way, just like feel free to reach out to us, because we have our databases of who is where. So you may not know every single St. Ed's alumni who like graduated and went on to live in the same area as you, but if you're interested in starting a chapter, we're definitely the right people to reach out to, because we can help you connect with and meet with the people in the area that you didn't even know were there that are St. Ed's alumni. So just always reach out to us and we will gladly help you start a new chapter.
Absolutely. So our Next question was also a repeat submission. How can alumni best support students at this time, and do you host giving events? Juan Carlos, could you please take this one?
Yes, sorry for the delay there. I just want to make sure my mic was back on. So look, the best way to support students right now is to help fund the scholarships. That's giving to student scholarships or to the Disaster Relief Fund, HOOF. Anyone can make a gift by going to stedwards.edu/giving. Now, so far as events go, yes, we do host giving events. And that's something we did more frequently, obviously, before COVID. But now, since COVID-19, we're not hosting any in-person events. However, we are looking at sponsoring some more virtual giving events in the future. And we hope to resume in-person events as soon as it's possible to do so. However, be on the lookout for Giving Tuesday programming that's coming up in November. And I want you to know that we do plan to host a Love Blue Give Gold event in spring 2021. Okay. Back to you, Claire.
Wonderful. We've got one more pre-submitted question. It is, how do we support students with their career goals, and how can alumni receive career support? So in my role as speaking for the Connected Network Committee, I'll take this one. For alumni in search of career support or opportunities, please reach out to the Career and Professional Development Office. You can access all of their resources and connect with their staff directly. For alumni who want to support students and volunteer in that way, reach out to SEUalumni@stedwards.edu. There are many ways to be a career volunteer. We match students with alumni upon the student's request, depending on common interest or field. So we often have we also often have programs we need alumni to participate in: job shadowing, internships, externships, informational interviews, classroom presentations, event panelists, and many, many, many more. So when you reach out to us, it lets us know that you're interested, and then as those things become available, we can follow up with you and get you plugged in.
And I'm gonna add a few things to that, Claire.
Go ahead.
I just want to tell you all that these services are incredible, even to alumni. After I graduated St. Edwards, I was actually in a job for about 5.5 years. And when I wanted to make a full career change, I reached out and they helped me with my resume. They helped me with questions. They helped me with interview prep. And it's just something incredible to have, especially when you don't have that anywhere else. And, you know, I hadn't done my resume in 5.5 years at that point, from when I graduated till then. And it was incredible. And I was still part of the family, and they welcomed me with open arms. And it's great to be a part of that. I've also actually come back with my company, and I've done the career days, and I've presented for my company and got to talk to students. And it's an incredible experience, especially getting to share your experience and your values and what you've learned on the hilltop, and then also in your professional career with these students, these young minds, and help shape them and mold them. It's incredible. It's an incredible experience. So I definitely encourage you to use the career and professional development, and then also come back, you know, with internship fairs or job shadowing or mentorship or anything of the sort. Like, please, 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 like, these students need us and they depend on us.
Oh yeah. If I can piggyback real quick, Claire, like when I went exiting out of St. Ed's, I joined a startup tech company, and it was doing all right at first. And then, you know, startups have a tendency to fail. So when that eventually happened and I was suddenly having to look for another job again, like almost roughly after I had just graduated, I was able to come back on campus and talk with still the same advisor in the office and work with her. And basically she helped me like kind of refresh, she helped me define my original resume template, but she was able to help me like guide and make sure I formed my resume and like updates it correctly to highlight the skills that I gained from my brief tenure at the startup and everything. And eventually wound me up with the job that I'm working for now, where last year we were able to go to St. Ed's and run a career fair, and we're looking for interns, and actually brought on an intern from St. Ed's for where I work currently. So it's not a resource that a lot of alumni are aware of, but they are more than more than happy to help you.
Thank you, Hunter. One of the questions that we got was, how can alumni who live outside of Texas become mentors for students remotely? Is there an alumni mentorship program? And that was from Diana Britton. Diana, thank you so much for your question. That's a great one. Because of COVID-19, we've learned how to do everything virtually. And we love to connect alums outside of Austin, outside of Texas with students. It's more a question of, is there a student looking for someone in that field or interest area to partner that person with? But please reach out to us. Let us know what you're doing and what you're interested in. And when we have a student that meets those needs, we'll be happy to connect you. But yes, in short, outside of Austin, outside of Texas, outside of the country, we would love to have you serve. We were putting together some panelists to do informational interviews, and I had some on different continents that worked with students. So sometimes there's a time zone issue or something like that, but we are more than happy to do that. And we have tons of virtual ways to connect that. We do not have a formal alumni mentorship program in and of itself. We more partner with the Career and Professional Development Office on programs that they're running and when students express an interest to us. So we are working on that though. But that was a great question. Thank you, Diana. One of the other good questions that we got was, what is the best way for an alum to promote SCU? And I think that's a wonderful question because there are a lot of different ways to answer that. One of the things that we love for alumni to do is to serve as admission volunteers and to help spread the message, especially to high school students that are in that time of their life where they're looking for a new college, and help us recruit the next generation of Hilltoppers. But also promoting SCU can be as simple as following us on our social media channels, sharing our successes, helping us spread the message about giving campaigns, volunteer needs, all of those different things. We know that SCU alumni are doing amazing things every day, but finding that information and getting it shared and promoted, sometimes it misses our news feeds if it does. So please, when you see an alumni success out there, shoot it our way, let us know. Use our hashtag SCU alumni or hashtag #AfterStuds. Those are the best ways to kind of get that information into people's feeds. Amy, Hunter, do y'all have anything to add? Juan Carlos?
We have a hashtag for #AfterStuds. I didn't know that. That's great. Like, I'm gonna use that all the time now.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to know that so I can tag all my stuff I do because I
always tag
some
SCU
things
alumni.
and stuff.
#AfterStuds. I like it.
Yeah, I always do a hashtag SCU alumni, but
I think, let me see. We have a lot of questions about how to connect with individual chapters. And I will, for all of those people that have submitted that question, like if you're trying to connect with Dallas or you're trying to connect with Houston, I will follow up with emails and copy our chapter presidents and get you connected that way. But again, you can go onto Facebook and through the groups and join their chapter groups. And those are groups, not pages. So you can post questions. One of the best things I've seen is that our Dallas group is really, really active, and I've seen people post, I'm hiring interns, I'm hiring new things in Dallas area, and they'll post job openings, event notices, all sorts of different stuff. If there are Dallas volunteer opportunities, they'll be posted there. So we try to take advantage of the social media whenever we can.
And can I just chime in on that too? So our chapter groups on Facebook, the way they are named, because I see several questions on that as well, they are the City Chapter - St. Edward's University Alumni Association. So Austin Chapter - St. Edward's University Alumni Association. So when you look, try typing in Dallas Chapter - or Houston Chapter - or Austin Chapter - and then St. Edward's University Alumni Association. So we should be able to connect you with those. And if you have some issues, feel free to email us on sualumni@stedwards.edu, and one of us will respond with the actual link for you as well.
Also, if you want to reach out to the board directly, when you're emailing at sualumni@stedwards.edu, if you just say to Amy or to Hunter or whatever, we just forward that directly to them. So those emails will go to them and they can respond. So you can use that function as well. We had okay, so we've gotten a question through the Q&A that says, I would like to be a career volunteer. I'm interested in helping with career searches, interviews, career guidance. How can I get involved? So if you are one of those people, if you are interested in serving in any of those capacities, please reach out to Gabby Ferrero Chavez. She is, oh gosh. Gabby, do you want to tell them what your email is? I'm sorry, I can't remember it off the top of my head, the actual email handle.
Yeah, I can do that. I currently work with the career presenters. So if you shoot me an email either at sualumni@stedwards.edu or gferrei@stedwards.edu, and I'll put that in for you as well. I would love to connect with you.
Yes, thank you, Gabby. Yeah, so we're always getting requests from faculty members, from the career office, from people that are running different programs that they want accountants or lawyers or dentists or whatever their specialty is that they're presenting on that day in their class. So having a stable of alumni and knowing what your specialties are is really important to us so that we can fulfill those volunteer requests that we get from our campus partners. But that is definitely something that we enjoy, and there's no exclusions on that. When I was recruiting a few months ago for folks to do informational interviews, which is where you talk to a student that's interested in your line of work and you just kind of answer questions about how you got into your field, what things you wish you had known, what things you wish you'd never done, what things you wish you had done sooner, those types of things. We had folks that were all over the country. We had folks that were 3 years out, and we had people that were on the cusp of retirement. So there's no one is too old, no one is too young, no one is too far into Iowa. There are no restrictions. So please reach out and let us know if you're interested in that. Let's see. We've got another question coming in. Oh, this is a great question, and I'm excited for it. So with COVID-19, the question, I'm sorry, is what can we expect for homecoming this year? I think a lot of alums are wondering what to expect for homecoming this year. In the interest of safety, our plan is to have a homecoming, but it will be a fully virtual homecoming. We've been working since the beginning of the pandemic to really beef up our virtual event game, and we have a lot of virtual events in the pipeline between now and then. And it's been going pretty well. Denise is our fearless leader from the Office of Advancement and for the alumni team on our homecoming plans, but they are in the works. They're meeting regularly. I do not have a date that I can publish at this moment, but it will be February-ish. And it will be virtual, but it will be fun. We are going to have all sorts of fun activities for us to connect with each other and our alma mater. So thank you, Jane Marie. That's a great question. This is a great question.
Claire, can I answer one?
Oh, sure. Oh, you just want to?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to answer a real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to answer a real quick one. Maria Shamnes, I apologize if I butchered your last name. Your question of clarification for the Facebook Houston SE alumni group name. So that group name is Houston Chapter - St. Edward's University Alumni Association. If you have issues finding that on Facebook, please reach out to us at sealumni@stedwards.edu or reach out to Amy or myself. Lauren Hill is also part of this, and she's the leader of that group, so she can help you as well. But once you find that group on Facebook and request to join, Lauren or Larry Tamuga, I believe, are part of that group managing. They will let you into that group and be able to communicate. But that, once again, for anybody in the Houston area curious for that Facebook group name is Houston Chapter hyphen St. Edward's University Alumni Association. And that should get you squared away for Houston folks.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Hunter. We had a question about, this was a great question from Victoria Pilsner, and it is about the the standing committees. So as Amy mentioned, we have 5 new working committees of the Alumni Association: Alumni Giving, Homecoming and Family Weekend Planning, Volunteer Recruitment, Alumni Engagement, and our Alumni Connected Network. Those 5 committees meet at different times. Right now, they're meeting all virtually, and they have some goals that are laid out for the year, projects that they're working on, and they're all in kind of different phases of activity at this point, but they do meet virtually, is the plan, or what is happening. But thank you, that's a great question. Oh, this is a wonderful question from Becca Gutierrez. How do I let admissions know that I'm interested in helping out as a volunteer? Well, just like with our partnership with Career and Professional Development, we have a stable of volunteers that we keep a list where we know that these people are interested in serving as admission volunteers. And then when admissions comes to us and they have a fair that needs to be covered or an event they need staffed or anything like that, we go to that list. So all you have to do is, again, I feel like this is kind of a broken record, but email us at sualumni@stedwards.edu. Let us know your name and your class year and that you're interested in serving as an admission volunteer. There are a lot of different admission volunteerisms, and of course, serving as an admission volunteer during a pandemic looks different than it has in years past. A lot of the time, an admission volunteer will attend a college fair at a high school or a local community college or something like that. But we also have admission events. I know admission is putting on virtual events, and they do sometimes have a need for alumni speakers, alumni greeters. Alumni are great to serve as admission volunteers because it's nice to talk to someone who's had that student experience. It's also really nice for parents to meet alumni and see that you came to St. Ed's, it enriched your life, it got you launched into your career. That's always good for parents to interact with alumni as well. But yeah, just shoot us an email, let us know that you're interested, and as those needs arise, we will put you at the top of the list. So guys, I think we've gotten a lot of really good questions. I think we've answered most of them. Yes, Hunter?
I was going to say, can I answer a question real quick since I'm looking through Q&A?
Sure.
Okay. So real quick, sorry, I'm scrolling to the iPad. I seem to have lost it. Maybe somebody answered it. But, oh, never mind. Gabby already found it. But I was going to answer for whoever Zoom user is. Alon does have a LinkedIn profile. Gabby already linked it. So if you're in the DFW area, specifically DFW area, Dallas, and all that, Alon Cabrera is your best person to get in contact with. If you look at the Q&A section under Answered, Gabby Ferrero has already linked his LinkedIn profile. So if you either don't have a Facebook or just prefer to use LinkedIn, then Gabby's link that she provided in the Q&A section as an answer will be the best way to reach out. And if you happen to miss the email, it's in the same answer, but I'll mention it anyway, of sualumni@stedwards.edu. Well done, Gabby, for beating me to the punch.
I feel like you're all going to have that email memorized by the end of this. SU alumni.
Yeah, if we haven't beaten it into your head already, SU alumni
Don't forget it. How to get to us.
Yes.
You know, and I just want to touch real quick. There's another question too about how many Hilltoppers are in a certain state or a certain area. If you have those kinds of questions, we'll definitely reach out to us and we can get you those answers, just so you can kind of find out like how many are around you, who's around you. And we definitely want to help with that kind of connected network.
Definitely. So we have a question that is, How is the Alumni Association being involved in the civil and political unrest that is happening in the country right now? This question came from Richard Allen, and I would like to shoot this over to Gregory Perrin.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Richard, for that question. The president recently, President Martin recently this week announced the formation of the Task Force on Systemic Racism. And that task force will stand up a series of 4 to 6 events this academic year to engage our community in discussions about the nature of systemic racism in our country, as well as what actions our community, our students, faculty, and can take to support the local and national efforts to bring an end to structural conditions that perpetuate inequality and injustice in our country. I'm fortunate to co-chair that task force with our Dean of the Monday School of Business, Dr. Marianne Ward-Paradoza. In addition to that effort, many of our faculty members are involved in community conversations. We have a diversity, equity, and inclusion area on our campus that is working with our students. And so we are living out the Holy Cross mission in this area of social justice. And we thank you for that question. And I also want to just add, many alumni have already reached out to our office to add support and wanting to get engaged. And we will be following up on that and finding opportunities for conversations and engagement for our alumni to support this effort. So thank you.
All right, let me scroll through and see what questions we have. I think.
Greg, can I add something briefly to what Gregory on that point? And I think one thing I want to add to this in terms of the alumni involvement with regards to these issues is really getting involved in your local chapter. That's very important because when you get involved with your local chapter, you can engage with your chapter to participate in events, to go out and be active in your community. And that's really the starting point there, I think. That's how I became involved, was just being engaged with my local chapter. You know, the chapter tries to do a lot of different things, from engaging you socially to providing events for people to further their networking and careers. And some of it too, people want to get involved in activities to give back in that St. Ed spirit, you know, doing food drives and other things. So that's really an opportunity if you're interested in events and you want to involve the chapter, to get involved with your local chapter to do that.
Thank you, Juan Carlos. And for those of you who don't know, Juan Carlos is the past president of the San Antonio chapter. So not only was he involved in his chapter, but he also led it for a long time before he joined the board. So that is a great way to get involved. I'm looking through and I think that we have answered pretty much all of the questions that we have time for tonight. Oh, we're getting a question in, hold on. Oh, how do you join the Houston chapter? And I guess we should have said this. One of the things that's great about the Alumni Association is every graduate and past student of St. Edward's is a part of the Alumni Association. So you do not have to formally join. You're already a member just because you're a Hilltopper. And you're already part of the Houston network. If we have your contact information and we know where you live, then you will receive invitations for events in your area. So that's one of the things that's really important for our new graduates to do. And when you move, update your physical address with us, because that's how we know where to send your invitations to. It's based on the zip code that we have on record for you. So if the mailing address we have for you is a Houston mailing address, then when we pull invitation lists for Houston events, you will get invited to Houston programming. And if your address says that you live in Austin, then you'll get invited to Austin events. So it's really important to make sure that your mailing address is up to date with us so that you get invited to the programs that are happening near you. Since everything's online right now, it hasn't been that big of a deal, but in years past, usually around National Happy Hour, I always get questions of, I live in Austin, but I keep getting invited to the New York National Happy Hour. And I'm like, well, that's because our address says you live in Brooklyn. So you're gonna get invited to New York events. So update your address with us, and then you'll get invited to all the things in your neighborhood, and we can see you at the next big shindig. Speaking of the next big shindig, we have one last slide. We wanted to share with you all of our upcoming events so that you could know what to look out for. So here's a list of some of the things that are coming up in the rest of September, and we hope to see as many of you as possible at those programs. If there are questions that I missed that we didn't get to, I assure you that I will follow up with you either via email, someone from the Alumni Relations team, or someone from the Alumni Board. Sorry, got choked up a little there for a second. But yeah, so we have great programming coming up through the rest of the year. We would love to see you at those. Thank you all for joining us this evening. This is the first time we have met to discuss alumni board initiatives with the wider alumni family, but it will not be the last. We will continue this tradition and meet annually to report out on the activities of the Alumni Association and to help you find ways to engage with the Alumni Association. We hope to see you at our next event. Before we leave, I also want to share with you 3 quick ways you can stay connected. First, ensure we have your current contact information so we may be in touch with important updates and opportunities. Second, follow us on your favorite social media channel. Third, choose your involvement with us. You can also provide feedback, email, call with ideas, thoughts, questions. Anything is there. So thank you to all of our alumni leaders and presenters, and thank you all for joining us, and have a great evening.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.